Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. We are bringing you another video of these Arabic short course, and this is the 10th one. Today we are going to do a completely different topic. And before we go, I want you to remember this chart. You do remember this was the Muslim chart and the Muslimat chart. Have a look. The Muslimun, the Musliman, the Muslimin, the Muslimani, the Muslimaini, the Muslimaini, Muslimuna, Muslimina, Muslimina, and the rest. So the thing was that there's one word Muslim, and then there was something that was added in the end, which changed the number, gender, and even the status also. So that was the idea, and I hope you all remembered that, because you're supposed to memorize this one. Without that we cannot understand anything today. So what's heavy versus light? Sounds very weird, I know, but it has nothing to do with weight and diet. Believe me, it has nothing to do with it, and or maybe it does. Normally all Isms are heavy. So heavy is like the word Muslimun, it's heavy. Every word is heavy, like you see here, Muslimun, Musliman, all the words you're seeing here is heavy. So what is light? That's the real thing. Light is a word or an ism which does not have a noon. To make it light, you have to remove the noon from the end. For example, if I ask you what is the marfu of Muslim, Muslimun or Muslimatun, so how can I make it light? Look at this N. You see? You have to remove this N. So if you remove this N, what happens? If you remove this N, it becomes Muslimu. So the light version will be Muslimu. Similarly, if it's Muslimataini, so to make it light, you have to remove the N and of course everything after it. So if you remove this N and everything after it, it becomes Muslimatai. So that's the idea. Now let's have a look at the Arabic thing. The Musliman has become Muslima. Since there is no tanwin, so the alif was gone also. Muslimatin, there's an N at the end which is hidden. Muslimatin, if you look at the English meaning, English pronunciation, you will find it. Where is it? Where's the Muslimatin, Muslimatin, Muslim? Here you see, there's an N. If you remove it, it becomes Muslimati. Here you go, Muslimati. And then again, Muslimaini, it will become Muslimai if you remove the N and everything after it. That is the noon, not the N, the noon. Very simple. If there is a tanwin like this one or this one, you just have to remove one of the haraka. If there is a complete noon by itself, then just remove it and you're done. Now remember that the words with al, like al-muslimu, al-muslima, when there is a al in any word, there will never be any tanwin. It's a system of Arabic. If you have done the any recitation courses, like where you run the tajweed or stuff like that, you know that al and tanwin don't go together. So does that mean that those words are light? No. When there's a al in a word, you don't say it's heavy, you don't say it's light. It doesn't fall in any category. You just ignore it, and it's not necessary to know if it is heavy or light. So have a look. The Muslimu, Muslima, Muslimi, Muslima, Muslimai, Muslimai. There was Muslimani, Maini, Maini. It has become now Muslima, Mai, Muslimu, Muslimi, Muslimi. And the female one, Muslimatu, Muslimata, Muslimati, Muslimata, Muslimatai, Muslimatai, Muslimatu, Muslimati, Muslimati. If you look at this chart, you will understand what is the difference. There is noon here, and even the hidden noons are kicked out from here. So that's the difference. There are 4 reasons for an ism to be light. There are 4 reasons for an ism to be light. One of them is if you are calling someone. One of them is if it is absolute negation. Another one is if you're how can I say it? If there's an al, of course, then it no. If there's an al, that's not light. Okay. There are 4 reasons, but if I mention them, you will not understand, because we have not done negation yet. And so let's move on to flexibility first. We'll do everything later. For now, just remember that anything to make it light. You don't have to make anything light. In the Quran, you may find that Muslima, Muslimati, Muslimai. What does that mean? Then understand that it is light, and it will be for a reason. So, another thing that I mentioned is flexibility. So, what on earth is flexibility? First, know that it's a very simple topic. It's very simple. So, I don't want to go to description. I want to go to the topic completely straight. Now look at this: fully flexible, non-flexible, partly flexible. So what's fully flexible? These words have three different forms in three different i'rab. That means a rafa form is something, the nasab form is something else, and the jar form is something else. The majroor form is something else. They can be heavy and light, just like the word Muslim. Most of the isms are fully flexible. Most of the isms are fully flexible. And for example, the Muslim word itself. So you might be confused that what does it mean that there are three different forms are in three i'rab. Look at this: Muslimu, Muslima, Muslimi. Three different forms. One is u, another one is a, and another is e. So it's different, right? That is what you call fully flexible. That's it, nothing else. I know it's very easy, but that's all. So what is a word that is non-flexible? Of course, it will have the same form in all three status, all three i'rab. You do remember ism mawsul, allazi, allazani, allazina, allati, allatani, allati, and the words, the pointer words, zalika, zanika, ulaika, tilka, tanika, ulaika, haza, hazihi, haulai. You remember them? Remember, they did not change in their rafa form. Allazina is the same in marfu, allazina is the same in mansub, allazina is the same in majroor. If it's allazina in marfu, it's also allazina in majroor. It doesn't become allazaini, or it doesn't become allazuna, allazina, allazina. It's allazina in three i'rabs. That is what you call non-flexible. No change with the i'rab. That's all, nothing else. So there are some words that are partly flexible. They cannot be heavy and they will not have any kasra. What that means is the nasab and the majroor. The mansub and the majroor form is same. So there is one form for marfu and one single form for both mansub and majroor. If you're thinking that all the pair are not partly flexible, you're wrong. Sorry, that does not mean that. All the words, all the forms that mean the singular and the plural will have this characteristic. That means if it's Yusufu in the marfu, it will be Yusufa in both mazur and mansub. Okay, the singular rafa version, the plural, it will be plural. Sorry, it will be two different forms, one for marfu itself and one single form for mansub and majrur, where it was supposed to be haraka of kasra in majrur and and a job, or what you call it in I forgot what you call it, fatah. Oh, I remember, thanks. Fatah is in mansub, was supposed to be in mansub, and it was supposed to be kasra in majrur, but when a word is partly flexible, it will only have a fatah and it will be in both mansub and majrur. There will be no kasra. And you also note that it becomes fully flexible if there is an al on it, and if it is a mudaf. So if there is a word that is partly flexible, for example Musa, but if there is an al before it, then it will become fully flexible. That means then it can take a kasra. It will no longer be partly flexible. It will change with the i'rab. And there is another reason when it can be changed, that is a mudaf. I know this is something that you have no idea of because we have not done it. It's a part of the fragments. Let me make it red since you don't know it. It's part of the fragments, and actually it will be done in the next video, Insha'Allah. So that's all. And for example, it is in the name of colors, places, that is either less than 3 letters or more than 3 letters, but not 3 letters. The places which has 3 letters are not partly flexible. Body parts like your hand, eyes, the Arabic names of them, and non-Arab names. On a side note, we mentioned that there are non-Arab names which are partly flexible. That means all the non-Arab names in the Quran are partly flexible. Interesting thing is there are only four Arab prophets in the Quran. Their names are mentioned in the Quran. So if you memorize these four names, then all the other names will be partiflexible. Simple, right? So who are these four prophets who are Arabs? Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Saleh alaihi wasallam, Hud alaihi wasallam, and Shuaib alaihi wasallam. These are the four prophets who were Arabs, and so their name is not partly flexible. So all other names like Musa, Isa, Ibrahim, every other name will be partly flexible. That's all about flexibility, and that's all about heavy and light. It's a very simple topic, and it's actually not, to be honest, it's not so necessary, but you just have to know that it is possible. So that's why we have discussed it. No, don't ignore it because it's not necessary. It is necessary, but not like the other ones. They're core topics. So before leaving, once again, we would like to remind you that we have, at least actually I have, nobody else is making these videos, I am doing it alone, alhamdulillah. I have tried to mention the details of this one in the last video, so I'll just go through a little introduction that this is just a slideshow story. There will be audio and some slides, that's all. It's not a movie, it's not an animation, it's nothing, because I am not a animator. I can't make animation myself, and nobody is there to help me too. So I just decided to make a short story of a girl and a boy, of course. So how they were doing all these amazing, unbelievable stuff in Jannah, which people don't think. When you say when there are people who say that Jannah is boring. If I go to Jannah, what can I do? All I have to do is eat, look at the waterfalls, and that's all. Oh man, it's boring. I don't get KFC, I don't get grill, I don't get ice cream, not to mention my PS2, PS4. Nobody will ask for PS2, PS4 or PS3. Ladies will say I don't go to, there are all kinds of complaints about Jannah. But actually, who on earth thinks that Jannah is boring? It's impossible. For first note that it's actually so huge. It is combined form of the seven skies. You can even see the whole first sky. It is larger than the seven skies attached themselves all together along with the universe. Then you can get closer to the size of Jannah. So in this little earth you are not bored, and you think you will be bored on the Jannah. So that's a very sad thing, and so I decided to make this story, which even if you hate it, it's no problem. You will still have an idea what amazing things are possible there. That's what this lady Emily have done. When she entered Jannah, she did all kinds of crazy stuff, enjoyed it, and though it's fictional because nobody is going to Jannah yet, it will help you understand that Jannah is not boring. At least it's just an experiment, and I have done it to help kids or very young people, to inspire them. It's actually an inspiration for me because I was inspired in one of these ways, so I'm helping. I think it will work for some other people too. And of course, it is not even 1% of awesome how awesome the real Jannah is. So it's just an optional thing. I'm just telling you that I'm doing it. I have not released any video yet, but inshallah I will do it soon. So coming back to the real one, and of course don't forget to download the handouts, because if you download them then you can memorize them easily, and everything is completely free, of course. And the next videos is the Arabic short course 11, 12, 13, 14. You can see that the ism is ending in the third video from now. Ism, I have to tell you again, guys, I have told this in the last and ladies also, I have told it in the last video, and I am doing it again because ism is the largest topic. It is very large, and it is very hard also. If ism ends, there are only a few videos left. What that means is easy Arabic short course is about to end. And you may wonder that what is the point of learning all these things? So I have decided to put on another gems from the Quran. Now an updated one, so that you have learned what was the last one, the gems from the Quran 1. You only had an idea about the three types of ism. Now you know four types of ism. You know pronouns, you know pointer words, you know ism mausul, you even know what is heavy and light, and you also know flexibility. So it's a big difference from the last time, because you only knew three types of ism, not even all four, and I gave one because people may think, what am I doing it for? So another one is coming up, inshallah. But if you think it's not necessary, please let me know. Then we will go to the fail directly, and we will end this very soon. So until then, see you all, and of course, don't forget to download the handouts. And if you like, I think it's good, and it will be very helpful for me if you go and check out the video, Emily's Adventures in Jannah. Assalamu alaikum to everybody.